happening online on social media. If you notice things that you want to talk about, then we'd love you to jump in. There's an open seat available for you. I also have Will Hanke here. G'day, Will.
Hey, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Andrew, don't forget to record this.
I've got that recording going, and a few people popping in. Karen, Mike, Matthew, thanks for popping in. Hey, as I said, we're going to cover a few things that are happening on social media, online marketing. What's news? We do this every Tuesday and every Friday, except today is Wednesday, so we've got a little day wrong here.
Switching it up a little bit, yeah. Keeping everybody on their toes.
Keeping it interesting, absolutely. Hey, Will, give us a rundown. What's our first bit of topic today that we're gonna dig into, because it's big news.
Yeah, big news on the big network, and that's Twitter. They've added the new buy button, which is pretty awesome. So people have been anticipating that for quite some time, where you can actually purchase things straight through Twitter now. So that'll be nice.
Now that's rolled out to everybody, right?
Yeah, it rolled out today to everybody, and some of the things I've been reading about it says that Twitter's, I think they just got passed up by Instagram. We talked about that last week. I think they're starting to get some things in line because they're not gaining as many people as they'd like to.
Yeah, and it's you know what else I just noticed? It's popping out in the news in the last 24, 48 hours is that they're thinking about now increasing the 140 character limit.
Yeah, I saw that.
Wow. I mean, there's a couple of apps out there that let you do that in a fashion. But what do you think that's going to do to Twitter? Do you think that Twitter was built around the 140 characters?
Yeah.
Do you think people have normal confidence?
I wonder if it's just going to turn into Facebook then. It's just going to be a different way to post the same status. So, part of the fun is trying to get it down to 140 and still make it make sense, right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we have people speaking a new language now.
That's right.
140 characters or less. And thanks if you guys have just joined us. Thanks for coming along. We're just talking about what's happening online. What are the changes that have happened in the last few days? If you've got a piece of news that you want to share with us that you think's happening, that could be big, could be small, and you just want to jump on, we'd love to have you on board. There's a couple of open seats as well, so feel free to jump on in, and we'll let you in. But we're just having a chat about the Twitter changes that are happening right now today. As Will said, the buy now button is just launched for everybody, so you can now buy things without leaving Twitter. If that's what you want to do. Hey, Will, what sort of have you seen many buy buttons pop up in the news in the Twitter feeds lately?
I haven't seen any yet. I just heard about this literally like an hour ago, so I think it's very new news as of today. So it'd be interesting to see how it goes. And I know that Pinterest has had very good luck with their promoted pins and purchasing things right through Pinterest. So it'd be interesting to see how the Twitter thing works.
I think someone is asking about how does it work. Do you want to give us a rundown of how that works?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen any of the buttons yet. I'm assuming there's going to be some sort of a link or something. I always use TweetDeck, so I'm not actually on Twitter itself, even though TweetDeck is a Twitter owned property. But I haven't seen anything pop up that says, buy now or something like that. But I'm assuming there's going to be some sort of a little button there. Yeah,
I saw this. They rolled this out to a few small businesses about probably about 6 months ago. I know, well, not small businesses. I shouldn't say small. Nike, if you call them a small business. Nike had they had some tweets. They were showing some tweets that you could buy a pair of Air Jordans or whatever it was with a little buy button, same sort of button style as a Facebook buy button.
Okay.
Little thing on the bottom right of the tweet. What I'm guessing is that there'll be a lot of sponsored ads that are running, sponsored tweets that are being run and basically going to be straight out ads.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if you see the top of your feed, like a Google search, we see the top of the feed, sponsored stuff where you're going to buy, and you're probably going to get blind to it. Right now it's new, it's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
But I'm tipping that there'll be some integrated posts like we got on newsfeed on Facebook now, but I reckon a lot of them will be pinned to the top so that their thinking will be that, hey, the people at the top will get the most traction and they'll stick to it. But as we know, we flick through Twitter real quick. The top of that news feed doesn't last long. It's not like a Google search or anything like that.
Yeah, unless they have a way to pin it up there, which I've seen on some of those sponsored ones before. When they sponsor like a specific hashtag or something like that, sometimes they stay at the top. So,
hey, has anybody seen that? Has anybody seen a buy now button on their Twitter feed? If you have, just ping us in the chat. I'd love to know which brand it was, which ones are using it, who are the early adopters, just so we can keep an eye on that too. So if you've seen them, let us know.
Yeah, it might be good to do some sort of a flash sale or something just to play with it and see how it goes.
Yeah, true. What about also the 140 character limit? Do you think that's going to really affect the way Twitter's being used, or do you think they're just trying to grab for people?
Yeah, my opinion is they're just trying to grab for people, and some of these other social networks and just the plain power of Facebook, I think, is just overtaking them. And they don't need to just turn into another Facebook. I kind of like the 140. So. Yeah,
I do too. I'm getting more and more into Twitter. Actually, I've only been on Twitter for 8 years.
Right.
But I'm actually enjoying. I'm actually enjoying it a lot more. I'm finding that the right sort of market for me is there. And, once you can get through the noise, you're getting great traction on it. So I'm actually enjoying Twitter a lot more now than I ever did. So.
Yeah, my wife joined it several years ago, and she never got into it. And then the last 2 months or so, she started following some people related to fitness and running and stuff like that. And she's really getting into it now. She's she's all excited when she gets a favorite and that kind of stuff. So, maybe there is some sort of a resurgence or some people that are coming back around and checking it out for a second time. So, or a third or fourth time.
I get a lot of news from Twitter. I use Twitter as a news service, especially if I want to find out what's going on. If I'm living over here in the US, obviously I've got an accent, so I'm an Aussie, but I live over here in the US, but I have my trends set to Melbourne, where I'm from, so I can see what's going on there. But I also, if I see something going on locally where I am right now in California, I want to find out, I'll just go and punch that into Twitter and get instant results. There'll be somebody telling you about the traffic jam that's going on, or there's smoke in the house. You'll know about it from Twitter. So I love that as part of my news service too.
Yeah, the other thing is, they are the owners of Periscope, so Periscope's gaining in momentum along with Blab, but maybe that's pushing some people back, and it forces you to log in through Twitter. So that's another angle as well.
I think that's a good point. Periscope is growing pretty rapidly, and a lot of people are getting back onto Twitter through Periscope. So.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know how many people that are on today have done a Periscope or tried it, because it's kind of fun, but a little bit crazy at times.
Let us know in the chat. Have you guys, just yes or no, have you tried a Periscope filming yourself, or have you even watched Periscopes? Because it'd be interesting to see. I think most people, from what I know, that are watching Blabs have actually seen a Periscope somewhere along the way. So yeah. Hey, what do you think? What about our next topic? What do you want to move on to the next topic? And by the way, and while we're thinking about that next topic, if you've just joined us, welcome aboard. We're going to go through some, this is a quick half-hour show. We're going to be finished in about 15 minutes or so. What we do is we quickly do a recap of what's happening online, social media, what's news, what's going on. If you want to jump on, we'd love to see you in our little blab. Just jump on one of the seats. We've got a bunch of seats there. Well, two. You can call two a bunch.
Hey, that's 50%, right?
50%. 50% of the space is available for you guys.
Right.
And let us know if you hear some, if you've heard some news, some rumblings, or whatever has happened in the last 24, 48, 72 hours, whatever. Hey, we don't know all of it. We certainly don't profess to know it all. We'd love to hear it. We want to hear some breaking news. So jump on and let us know some breaking news. Before we go, we've got a question. Any new apps for making connections for business? What's your thoughts on those?
Yeah, I don't know of any new ones. There's the old standby LinkedIn. I'm starting to get more and more LinkedIn requests for friends, and I'm kind of picky about it. I don't know how you are, Andrew, but if I don't know who they are, or I've met them at some sort of chamber event or something like that, I typically don't friend them. But wonder how other people handle that.
Yeah, A-Boy, I'm not sure what your first name is.
He says he hates LinkedIn.
I used to love LinkedIn. I used to live on it. I'm a lot less on it now because I'm getting a lot of requests from all sorts of people, as you said.
Yeah.
I'm not as picky as I used to be. I'm probably more picky on my Facebook account than I am with my
oh, interesting.
with my LinkedIn account. But as far as apps go for connections for business, depends on what market you're in. Who's your target market? Because that's going to determine what sort of links you're looking for, what sort of connections you're looking for. If it's a younger market, then maybe it's going to be something like a Snapchat. And we spoke a fair bit last week with Amber about Snapchat. But if you want to let us know what sort of market you're in, might be able to answer that question.
Yeah. While we're waiting for that, let's talk about Google trying to get into the custom audience area.
Yes. So you are the SEO expert. You're the SEO king. Give us a rundown of what's happening with them.
Yeah, well, so Facebook's had custom audiences for probably over a year now, I think, where you can upload your newsletter list, things of that sort, and then create ads to that specific market. So Google's trying to get in on some of that now. You can tie it to your Gmail account, and they'll create an audience that looks like the people that are in your Gmail list. They have also opened up the thing where you can upload your email list as well and start targeting ads to those people specifically on AdWords.
Now, just to be clear, it doesn't mean only Gmail users, right? It doesn't matter what email address as long as they're in your contacts.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're just going to use your Gmail contact lists to kind of look at those demographics and create a custom audience from that list.
Huh. Yeah. Do you know, do you have many contacts in your Gmail list?
I don't know. I only have a Gmail account because I have to have a Google account, but I rarely check my Gmail.
There was a workaround that I did a couple of years ago. I don't know if you can still do it or not, but Yahoo lets you download all of your names and addresses from Facebook, and I know LinkedIn could do that as well. So I actually did all that. And then I uploaded them into my Gmail account. So I've got about 8,000 people on my Gmail account.
Oh, wow.
That I could, if I wanted to, stick them into a retargeting campaign as well. But
idea. Yeah, pull them down from the other sources, plug them up into there, and then you can start creating a custom audience from that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's still available. Maybe someone else would know that if you're listening. But I don't know if you can still do that. But I know there was a workaround because Yahoo lets you do it and Gmail didn't.
Right.
So it was a bit of a bandage job. You had to do one thing and then another. But hey, I've got them all here, and I mean they're a few years old now, so they're probably not relevant. But just a couple of ideas. If you do have a large following on LinkedIn, you do have a large following, or even Twitter. There's some tools out there that pulled all the Twitter ones down too.
Yeah.
And if you've got a large following on Twitter, that could be pretty handy as well.
Could be, yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
So that's just rolled out. Cool. What do you see is going to be who's going to be the big benefactor for that? Do you think?
I don't know. Maybe it's the people that are doing the AdWords management. You know, they've got a new tool now, a new service that they can offer to some of their customers, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Just going back to Evoy, he says he is in design marketing, looking for new apps, making connections for business. I'm not sure what apps you've got. Excuse me, as you said, but yeah, what apps do you use for connections for you? Is it just LinkedIn?
For me?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much LinkedIn. I mean, you and I are both in design/marketing.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty much on Facebook. I use a ton of the like we were talking about, the custom audiences, building lead magnets, things like that to get more people. I don't necessarily use a specific app to make connections. I did talk to somebody today who said that they like to connect with local chambers and either rent that email list or buy it, or some chambers won't let them, but then they send out some sort of an email to those members and offer them some sort of free class or something like that. So that's an interesting idea too.
You know, with most chambers, I've noticed is that their list is generally public anyway. You can find a list of who's a member because they want to put all those sites on there. So I guess it's just a matter of scraping it off and using it if you want to do it that way too. Some
sort of like a business directory or something.
Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. So what about the next topic? What's our next topic we've got? And if you guys, as I say, if you want to jump on and have a chat with us, we'd love to have you on board.
Well, we have a Snapchat topic, but you and I kind of screwed that up last time. So I'll jump on and say it's just that they've added some profile GIFs or GIFs. How do you say? How do you typically say?
I say GIF.
GIF. Yeah. So now you can do that as a profile, which I've seen some people do on Blab too. When you're looking at the different Blabs that are going on, some of them are moving around, kind of grabs your attention.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the point of it is on Snapchat. We'll have to have Amber back on at some point and ask her.
On Twitter as well, I've seen moving GIFs that's like, wow, this is pretty crazy. So yes.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Facebook privacy hoax. There's that's going around once again. People have to paste in this big long piece of content that says, I hereby denounce Facebook and all of its friends, and that's kind of crazy.
It pops up probably every 3 or 4 months. I see them doing the rounds, and what I'm actually amazed at. There's a few people out there that I would consider pretty savvy about online and social media, and they're doing it too. And I'm like, are you serious? You guys just don't. What's wrong with you? What are you wasting your time for? As if Facebook have got time to go and look at every personal profile and every post to see if they've actually cut and pasted those particular words.
Right. Yeah.
But it's
kind of like back in the day when Bill Gates was going to send, you were $100,000 if you did this particular action.
Gullible minions, I think it is. Gullible minions.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of hoaxes, the other one that was going around was the dislike
button? Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you know about the dislike scams?
Well, they came out last week and said that they were thinking about adding a dislike button to your Facebook status or to your feed, I guess. And within minutes, there were hoaxes popping up, saying various things to try to get people to click on their malware. In most cases, it seemed to be installing crazy stuff on their sites and all kinds of things.
Yeah, it's they're quick. They're pretty good. They're super quick at doing this sort of stuff, and they're not silly. These guys, they look at trends, they see what's going on. Some celebrity gets in the news, and bang, there's a headline over the top of a link. Whether it's a celebrity that dies or does something stupid, they're going to stick those links in them, and they're really good at quickly seeing what's changing, so they can get suckers to click on these links. And unfortunately, they do it really well. Sometimes you don't know it's a scam until it's too late.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes you wonder about those. I mean, I'm not into the quick hit, the quick money, but that seems to be the world that those guys live in. But I guess if they're doing okay with it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a lot of hustle.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. All right. Anything else that you got there? I've got one more thing I want to bring up. Not so much.
Go ahead.
Online, but TiVo have just introduced a new DVR that actually skips commercials completely.
Yeah.
How exciting is that? No more commercials.
That'll go over well with us marketers.
Yeah, really. There'll be a TiVo that comes out and skips Twitter buy buttons, and there'll be a TiVo style thing that comes out and skips Google ads. So here we are talking excited about what they're going to do, and now we're talking about let's skip those ads. Yeah.
Yeah. Should be interesting to see if that actually gains any traction.
Well, they're saying that I wouldn't be surprised, because I mean, how annoying is it to watch ads on a TV show, especially? That sort of interruption marketing. Whereas your Google stuff is just search market. You're looking for something specific, and they're offering related things at what you're looking for. Whereas, Facebook is that interruption. You're looking at Facebook for more photos of cats because you haven't seen enough, and then an ad for something comes up. That sort of interruption marketing. I think TiVo's down that same line. Whereas you're watching your favorite show on TV, and then there's an ad. I mean, we all know what ads are. We're used to it.
Right.
In fact, there was even a study done that kids' attention spans these days are as long as the distance between two ads.
Oh, wow.
Which is pretty sad, because kids only can pay attention in school for about 8 minutes, and then they're like, okay, I'm ready for an ad.
Yeah, not good. So it's interesting that so what TiVo is basically doing is kind of trying to take on Netflix. Netflix is you watch something from start to finish.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a physical product that would be considered the same as Netflix, I guess.
Yeah. I watch a lot of streaming stuff as well. So maybe I might go to Fox or CBS or whatever and watch a show from there because they'll usually show some replays, but they'll stick their ads in there.
Yeah.
I use a tool called eNounce. eNounce My Speed. It lets you watch videos three times faster. So when a 30-second ad comes on, I hit fast forward triple speed and bang, the ad's done in 10 seconds, and I don't have to sit there and wait 30 seconds for their Dove commercial.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's a pretty cool tool. So you can watch all sorts of videos, but the cool thing is you can actually listen and understand the videos as well. So if I'm watching a YouTube video and let's say it's a 20-minute video, I can watch the video in 3 speed, still understand everything that they're talking about. It's not chipmunk voice. It's actually good, solid information, and you can understand it and watch it in 6 minutes. So a lot of my training videos, I'll go through trainings real quick because I can watch the video real much faster than I need to.
Oh, that's pretty smart.
Yeah. So I think it's a $20 plug-in for your browsers.
And what's it called again?
It's called eNounce.
eNounce.
E for elephant. eNounce.
Yeah.
Nounce. eNounce.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
There you go. I think that's almost a wrap. Hey, you got anything else you wanted to add?
No, I think we're good. We got everybody all caught up for another couple days.
There you go. So we're back here Friday, 10:30 a.m. Pacific, and we are talking about what's happening online and social media. And if you would like to join us, hey, send us a message. We'd love to have other people on the show as well. Come and jump in. We've got open seats available. If you want to just be part of it, then sing on out, and we'd love to be a part of it. Just connect with me on Twitter and let me know via Twitter. Probably the best way to do it.
Yep.
All right, Will.
That'll work.
Thanks so much.
All right, man. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. See you later.